Most of the time we are talking about how Donald Trump's presidency is scary and dangerous and damaging, and it is all of those things. But every once in a while, you catch a glimpse, a glimmer of a moment that makes Donald Trump look like the smallest person on earth.
We'll start right here, and in 3, 2, 1.
Somebody that's actually asking.
Can you believe it?
Thank you.
That's amazing.
So I was closer.
That's the picture we want.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you slept well.
It was great.
Yeah?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Actually,
Thank you very much.
wonderful.
That was Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, perhaps mocking Donald Trump and his method of saying words. Now, look, in fairness, she may have also been mouthing thank you herself. Admittedly, I don't speak Dutch, so I'm not sure what mouthing thank you in Dutch looks like. But if she was mimicking the very bizarre mouth movements of Donald Trump, kind of in the way someone would mimic the movements of an exotic creature they've never seen before, this is what that would look like. Now look, is this the most important thing with everything going on in the world right now? No. But there is one legitimate reason that we have to find moments to laugh at Trump, and that's because he derives his power from the perception that he is untouchable. That if you assail him, he'll get revenge. That he can cow you into silence and submission. That's how autocrats operate. They need to quash dissent. But if we can laugh at the guy, that pokes a massive hole in this perception that he's trying to build around himself, that he is beyond reproach. He's not, and we should remind him of it every single day. In fact, that's the same logic behind why it's so important that we protest and demonstrate. Not just because it's helpful to be part of a community of like-minded, pro-democracy Americans, which of course is important unto itself, but also because taking to the streets in such massive numbers decimates this perception that Donald Trump has created that he is all-powerful, that he has cowed his opponents into submission. But tell me, does this look like he's cowed his opponents into submission? So look, I understand that materially speaking, not much changed from that Saturday to that Sunday, but a message was sent loud and clear to the American people living in every state in the country, in what may often feel like isolation, that you are not alone, and that together we are a hell of a lot more powerful than one man with a God complex. And that's a point, by the way, that I made in my own speech at the No Kings protest in downtown Los Angeles.
And unlike those 6,600 troops in Washington, D.C., no one was ordered to be here. No one was paid to be here. We are here because we want to be here. We are here because we are sending a message that Donald Trump and the GOP may run the House, they may run the Senate, they may run the White House, they may think they have power. But you know what power looks like? It is this. This is power. It is hundreds of thousands of Angelinos. It is our brothers and sisters in New York and Chicago and Philadelphia and San Francisco and San Diego and Phoenix and Miami and millions more Americans in 2,000 cities across the United States. We don't need soldiers. We don't need tanks. We don't need jets. This right here is what we need. This is what powers our democracy. This right here is what gives me hope.
And by the way, when we stand up to the president, it's not just America that sees it. It is the rest of the world too. And they also are not afraid of him. This is what just a couple of instances of world leaders confronted with Trump looks like.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his French counterpart have been caught on camera allegedly gossiping about President Donald Trump at a reception at Buckingham Palace. Now, in a huddle alongside Princess Anne and Boris Johnson, Justin Trudeau and Emmanuel Macron were caught discussing a 40-minute press conference. President Trump was not mentioned by name, but he had held a lengthy press conference with Mr. Macron earlier that day. The leaders are in London for NATO meetings.
Today I stand before the United Nations General Assembly to share the extraordinary progress we've made. In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Again, same concept applies. Donald Trump is only as powerful as we allow him to believe he is. When we are all collectively able to laugh at him, to mock him, to deride him, he loses the illusion of full control that is central to his belief that he's the first American king and that his dissenters should be banished. What Trump is learning in real time is that, unlike his heroes in North Korea and Russia and China, you cannot force people to respect you. You can't force people to like you. You can't force people to cheer for you. But it really is easy to mobilize people to stand up to a thin-skinned, brazenly corrupt, egomaniacal bully. That's why anywhere from 5 to 10 million people turned out in over 2,000 cities across the country this past month for the No King's Day protest, while Trump himself couldn't turn out a fraction of that in a parade that cost taxpayers almost $50 million. Because again, you can demand respect, but you're probably not going to get it. And look, none of this is to say that Donald Trump doesn't pose a legitimate threat, because he does. But our job is to walk and chew gum at the same time. It's to fight him in the courts, in the press, on the streets, and at the ballot box. But it is also to retain our sense of who we are. To Donald Trump's dismay, we are still a democracy. We still have our freedom of press, of petition, of protest. And God knows that we're going to use them. And there's no better person to use them against than him.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Very much.
Wonderful.
Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.